Hello and welcome back to the channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com, reviewing the Bowtech CP28. I'm assuming CP stands for center pivot, which was a technology they called, had to do with the straightness of a riser to where everything is in a symmetrical line. I want to say they coined that term back in the Invasion, way back when. But it's a very, very straight riser bow. This should be like stupid forgiving. Basically, when you have a riser that's that straight, when you torque, you miss by less. The more reflex there is in the riser design, the more you will miss by when you apply adverse hand pressure, which we all do to some degree. This is going to be a great little tree stand ground blind hunting bow, I would think, incorporating the best adjustable cam system on the market, like our previous video discusses. And one new little feature on this bow that you might have already picked up, depending on how fast you're looking. Now I know that's a Matthews integrate rest, but that is an integrate attachment on the back of the bow. All the bows this year will not have that other than this bow. The CP28 is their first integrate option. And at the moment, this is the only integrate rest that's available, but stay tuned, kiddos, there will be more soon, no doubt. Specs on this bow are 28 axle to axle. I want to say that's the shortest axle to axle bow Bowtech has ever made. 6 7/8 inch brace height, 335 feet a second. That's a pretty stout tout for this little sucker, but we'll see what it does. And 4.4 physical pounds. So, axle to axle of 28. Boom, 28 on the dot. Brace height is 6 3/4. Well, it looks like more like 6 7/8, so that's a nicer number, but hey, 6 3/4 will do. Let's see what our physical weight looks like. So 4.9 to 5, yeah. So, and that rest might be 2/10, it might be a little heavier than a whisker biscuit. So I'm assuming they're probably weighing it without that harmonic dampener and that harmonic dampener on there, which do bolt on. And then you're probably at that weight, maybe even if they take this little guy off, but nobody's going to take those off because it makes the bow feel better. But, so this is really probably more like a 4 3/4 pound bow, just for you kiddos at home that don't get your hands on one right out of the gate. It looks very similar cam design to the SS cam. It's a slight different shape, but pretty close. So without further review, I haven't even drawn this back yet, so we'll see what it looks like. Or feels like, I should say. Well, the cycle's real smooth. No humps. Nice and gradual. A little bit of vibration. Kind of surprised that there was a little bit in there. I felt more of like a jarring metallic ting, kind of like ding, a little bit. Almost the sensation that you get if something's loose. So I kind of wonder if maybe there's a loose screw on here somewhere. Let me shoot again. It's not as easy pulling as the SS was, but it's still pretty easy. Yeah, there's not something loose, but it does have a little bit of a ting. I think I forgot to mention that it goes from 24.5 to 30 inches. And it's available in 50, 60 to 70 pound. Sorry, it's early. We're trying to get like 3 or 4 of these done this morning, so in a little bit of a rush. One more shot here. I'm gonna grip this one really good to see what the felt vibration feels like. Gone. Okay, so there's a little bit of residual vibration, but it's gone relatively quickly. It's not the deadest bow I've shot this year, but it's up there. It's pretty high on that. But let's see how fast it is. I'm willing to bet this is probably a bit slow of what they said. Hang on. All right, here we go. 70 pounds, 30 inches, 350 grain arrow. Let's see. Oh, we are in comfort setting, by the way. I forgot to mention that. 312. $313. 313. So I'll give it 313 feet a second in comfort, which is the slowest thing we've shot this year now. That's by a pretty reasonable margin. But let's flip it over into performance and see what we get when we change it over. All right, we are now in performance setting at 30 inches at 70 pounds in the CP28 with a 350 grain arrow. Let's see if we can get a little more than 313 out of it, huh? You know, that adds a tiny little hump in the back end, but it still pulls really, really easy. So that's not a horrible thing by any means. 322. That's a lot better. That's a lot more realistic to what they're publishing and advertising, although it's still slow, but let's see. .322 duplicate. One more, and we'll see what we get. .322 three times. So I think we can safely say this is a 322 foot a second bow in performance. Could you tweak it a little bit? Yeah. Could you play with it a little bit and squeeze a little more out of it? Yeah. But that is 13 feet a second slow, which you've got to get within 10 to earn my respect on what you're publishing. This is a little irresponsible publishing, like a lot of them. There's been, for lack of a better phrase, few that have been within 10 this year. I see fudging more than I think I've seen in the past, and it's a little disappointing. But all in all, the bow does feel good, and I would most definitely shoot this bow in performance if you're going to consider it, because the other velocity is just like really, really, really slow. And I'm not a speed freak by any means. Speed equals energy, kiddos. If you drop 10 foot a second off your velocity to get it at a more acceptable feel, you're giving up energy and penetration. I mean, KE at a 10 foot a second loss is like 5 pounds of KE. That's a lot. Okay, you can gain that in a lot of other places. So back the bow down a couple pounds and shoot it in performance. You're going to get more velocity. You can probably back this bow down 5 pounds and get the same speed in performance. So if you're looking at this little CP28 for your tree stands, your ground blinds, you're probably more of your eastern hunter, hunting whitetails. Be a great little bow for you. Just wish that the velocity was a little truer to what they said it was, but all in all, is a good feeling bow with a good system. I'd probably have to give the nod to the Solution SS in overall feel, though. Over last year, I think it felt a little better in both categories. Head on over to podiumarcher.com for all your archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping. If you're looking for stuff that we don't have there, please let me know. Reach out. If we have any way to list it, we will get it up there for you. We're going as fast as we can, but we have not enough folks to get all this work done. There's only about 4 or 5 of us running around here trying to get everything taken care of, but we'll get to it as quick as we can. Hit like, hit subscribe, keep coming back, put stuff down in the comments. Love to know what you guys think. If you want to see some other different stuff tested on initial looks, let me know. We're going to do some deep diving with some more specific numbers with more variety to them in the future on the bows that we deem the nicest of the year. So we'll probably pick one out of each brand and say, okay, these are the ones we're really going to do a deeper focus on going forward here. More than anything, we want to get the base reviews out as fast as humanly possible so you can help make a better decision for the guys that are buying right away, guys and girls and kiddos out there that are buying right away. More than anything, guys, I really appreciate the feedback that we get and appreciate that you keep checking us out and keep looking at us. I didn't ever really expect to get the kind of response that we're getting, and it's kind of exciting. So appreciate it, guys. Keep coming back. See you later.